right. A little bit better than sitting here the other night. It was like we were just in here. I slept a whole lot and been spending half my time trying to figure out what happened on Monday and then the other half figuring out how to prepare for tonight. But, you know, look, I thought it was a gut check by our group. I thought it was a heck of a response. And, you know, we haven't been playing as well as we need to from an energy, emotion, effort standpoint. And we've been playing a little tight. You know, we've been playing like, you know, the building of winning games, and all of a sudden we lose one at Greensboro. And since then, we almost look like we're in a pressure cooker a little bit. And, you know, it's on the outside, it's, oh, they can't make shots, they got a shooting problem. But internally, it was a spirit problem. It was just going out there and just, hey, look, we're going to the ballpark to have fun. But part of having fun is you got to play urgent. You know, you got to compete. And, you know, we showed some clips, you know, this morning of just some of our defense early in the year. And, you know, just some defense in this building and kind of mirrored it to some clips from Monday night and just showed them the difference. And it wasn't by any means perfect tonight. You know, there's still some possessions, you know, we would love to have back, but it was better and it looked more like Furman basketball. And it's a very good opponent. You know, they're very well coached. Brooks does a great job, and you know, it was a war of a game. And but I thought we had some gumption down the stretch to finish it out. We were a little sloppy late, and you know, that's some stuff we got to clean up. But you know, I guess we were up 8, and then you know, we missed 2 free throws and then fouled a 3-point shooter that makes it and made it a little bit harder than it needed to be down the stretch. But you know, we'll learn from that, and you know, but proud of a lot of guys. You know, proud of a lot of guys. And I know you guys will ask me probably about the lineup change and things like that, but I thought the response to all of that, you know, was impressive by our group. I thought we played very connected. I thought we looked like great teammates tonight. I thought we played with much better emotion and spirit.
Coach, I thought from the get-go there was an emotion and spirit, and yet ETSU shoots 54% the first half, but they only lead by 1. Once again, you get a buzzer-beating 3 at the half. A lot different situation than it was on Monday, and it seemed like you obviously tuned up the defense a whole lot in the second half. They finished 41% for the game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you get to the tunnel and you feel, I mean, it was clear we were playing harder. I mean, we were definitely competing better, and it's funny when you play the right way, you know, offense starts to, you know, look a little smoother. And, you know, the biggest thing at halftime was they had 6 offensive rebounds, which that's what they do. They're really, really good at it. And, but they literally had scored on all of them. So it was 6 offensive rebounds, which, you know, you say, well, man, that's too bad. Not for them. That's actually doing okay. You know, like, would you like it at 4 or 5? Of course, but what you can't have is they get 6 and they score 12 points off of it. And I thought there was some unfortunate plays there. I didn't think we were physical enough on the wall ups once they did get the offensive rebound. And then we had 2 turnovers that we had possession on outlets that, you know, we get a stop and then we give it right back to them. We had a couple balls that, you know, didn't bounce our way, but I thought our guys kept hanging in there. And I thought that was a huge play right before half. I mean, like, you know, we get the stop, we force the tough 2, and then, you know, we board it, and PJ has the awareness, you know, hey, we got 5 seconds, let's get out and go, and hits Nick up the court, and Nick hit a huge shot, you know, and sometimes you get some momentum in the tunnel like that, and it can help you coming out. And I thought our guys did a great job in the second half. Second half D, you know, I think they went a 5-minute stretch there late without scoring, and you know, we knew we had to sit down and guard the basketball, and we knew they were going to really challenge us off the bounce, and you know, challenge us obviously on the backboards. And you know, we did a great job of first shot D. We still gave up some offensive rebounds in a couple stretches in that second half, but once we were cleaning up the boards, and then you know, we were able to go out, and you know, I guess it was tied 60-60, and then we pushed it to 67-60 if I remember correctly, and you know, gave us a little bit of margin there.
Coach, you know, you have that kind of lead there at the end, and you mentioned the kind of struggle to get to the finish line. Is that a situation where you have been in the game and things are just going crazy and you want to make a substitution but you just can't for free throws, or is that?
Well, no, I mean, look, let me make this clear because I want everybody to understand this, okay? Ben didn't get pulled out of the start lineup tonight because he was demoted. Right? Teams have decided to put multiple guys in the paint when we play guys that they don't perceive that can make shots. And so if you let people just sit 2 people in the paint, then it can appear they're playing great defense and not even having to do anything, right? I mean, put 2 on PJ, Chase and Nick and PJ on everything, stick 2 guys in the paint, and then okay, good defense. Well, we've got to put more spacing out there, so we didn't say, hey, Ed's playing better than Ben. It was more staggering to where we're not out there with 3 guys that they're painting versus 2, and it just opens up the paint a little bit more. And so, we also think that, Ed can play better, and for this team to get to high ceiling needs to play better. And I wanted to give him a little bit of a vote of confidence on that to show him that, hey, we do believe in you. And I thought his game elevated tonight. But Ben, his ability, gets 4 assists in the first half. Went to the 4. We started switching with him. Did a great job on ball D. And so I want to be crystal clear on that. This was not a, hey, put this kid in, take this guy out. This was just shifting the rotation, right? So that we can kind of keep a little bit more of a space floor. I think they're late. It comes down again. We got Ed out there late because we believe in Ed. And in that situation, we get it by the press, we get over the top. Ben needs to be in that basket, right? Like if we throw it over, just lay the ball up.
Right.
Ed needs to catch it on the sideline and center the ball, right? He doesn't need to look to advance up sideline. He's got Nick and PJ here. There probably is 19 seconds left. They're gonna have to come down and foul. They don't want to foul him. Center the ball, be strong with it. If you're gonna pass it to anybody, let's pass it to 2 guys that are 80% free throw shooters. And look, it's a freshman mistake, and it's not that Ben can't make those free throws. We saw Ben make 6 in a row at Citadel. You just want to play the numbers there, right? You just want to play the numbers, put guys in situations. Those free throws are different, right? If you've had to shoot those free throws before, those free throws are different. And so you want guys that have had to shoot those free throws before. Could we have put Chuck in? 100%. That's what we started doing. We started going a little bit of offense, defense there. But I thought our late game presso overall was pretty clean. We did a poor job dribbling to the sideline there. When he fouled PJ, we've got to work that middle a little bit better. But we didn't have any turnovers in the back of the press. And I think, in the front of the press. And I think when you're trying to hold a lead, that's important. But you can't foul. You can't foul a dang 3-point shooter right there. We got to do a better job in 3-point defense there on their dang best shooter.
Coach, the intensity that Davis has been bringing the last couple games, and we were actually talking about it. Reminded me of I was watching a game with the Knicks and the Bulls, and Charles Oakley. It seems like Molinar's just got that kind of intensity. What's your thoughts on the way Davis has played the last 2 games?
Well, Davis is one of those guys that just loves to compete. He's fearless. We got a couple guys. Ben, Davis, Garrett. That people are really painting hard, and I told Davis, I said, look, man, the only reason they're painting you is because you won't shoot it. They don't know you can shoot. Like, you can shoot. You have to go show synergy that you can shoot. And so you're out in practice, and we're doing shooting drills this weekend, and he's top 3 or 4 in the team. But when he's catching it out there, he hadn't been shooting the ball. So they played off of him early, and he's wide open in the corner, and he bangs it. And look, all summer, all fall, he's worked on his shot. His shooting numbers are fantastic in practice. He's got to shoot with confidence. And I told Garrett the same thing. Garrett, look, it's 8-0 in the Virginia game, one of the biggest games in the history of the program, and you hit the first shot of the game on a left corner 3, right? 2 weeks ago at Citadel, he bangs a huge shot to win the game. Garrett's a great shooter. Garrett shot 42% from 3 all summer, all fall, right? But he's got to play with belief. So when he shot the ball at the top of the key, he's wide open, stepping into that thing with belief. And I thought he shot it with good fluidity. It looked like he shot it with confidence. It's a 50-50, but he's got to believe that. And I think we've got to space those guys out a little bit more. I thought we did a better job of that tonight. But, Davis can do a lot out there. Davis can play the 3 a little bit. Davis can play the 4. If we wanted to go small and let him work the elbows, he could play the 5. He's incredibly physical. He's one of those guys that likes physicality. And, he's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. He can dribble it up. He can post it. He can drive guys. He can make shots from the edges, and he just loves to compete. And I got full trust in him out there.
Coach, alluding back to the lineup change to start the game, I thought they wanted to get another shooter out there in Bronson. Also, who in the world can give you more energy off the bench than Ben Vanderwall? Just the way he plays in general, and I thought that both shone through tonight. I think Bronson stepped up after struggling maybe a little bit the past couple of games. and that energy, and obviously that huge tip in that Ben had late late. I think both those kind of shone through.
Yeah, I mean, you look at plus and minus, you know, you look for your outliers. Obviously, you know, Garrett was tremendous tonight. It was a plus 15, and you know, we moved him actually down to the 5 a little bit there late, and put Ben at the 4. And but yeah, Ed, I mean, he plays 35 minutes tonight, and he's a plus 3, which ended up being the game margin. A lot of times when you play a lot of minutes, you kind of give what the game margin is. But you know, he made some big plays. You know, the 3 hit I thought was a huge play. I don't think he's gonna think he played perfect, nor did I, but I do think he played with some swagger, and I do think that he played with some aggression. And this team needs a third guard, right, that can really take some stress off of PJ. They can't do it all. And we've got guys that can, you know, Ed's a 3-level scorer. Ed this summer, I mean, was playing unbelievable basketball before his injury. And part of what I've got to do is, you gotta take the long view in this. We gotta get to our best in March. You know, this all comes down to what happens in March. And I've gotta get him these reps to let him work through some of this so he can build that confidence. But you're talking about an athlete, you're talking about a can finish, you're talking about a guy to create. I mean, that pivot to the 2 right there in the paint, that's a big play. I mean, that's a big play. And, you know, he's got the capability to do that. And if we can put that on film, you know, it changes how they're able to guard PJ. And having the ability to really space it with 3 guys. And now you got Chuck that you can space it with on the edges inside as well. And Dave can hit, you know, like we gotta get better spacing out there, and I thought our spacing was a lot better tonight.
Can you talk about, just the comprehensive defensive effort on Seymour and Peterson? They go for 39 points, but they take 39 shots. So everything was difficult. It felt like, especially in the second half, I didn't feel like Peterson was necessarily being able to drive downhill as much. Can you talk about that?
Well, I mean, first of all, 2 really, really good players, you know, and 2 guys that can score, you know, with the ball in their hand and have good size, and you know, can score at 3 levels. And then you know, Peterson on the glass is Peterson goes and they all go and get rebounds, right? Seymour goes and gets rebounds. So there's a lot of different things you got to deal with, and you know, we knew they were going to put Peterson in a lot of ball screens, and you know, they're going to put Seymour in space, and he's obviously a pick pop threat, so you got to deal with that. And so, look, they put a lot of stress on you. I mean, they got good players. I mean, those guys got some talent now, and so you got to really be able to sit down and guard the basketball. And here lately on film, just to be honest, it doesn't look like we guard the ball. And you know, we weren't perfect at it tonight, but I thought it looked a little bit more like what we had been doing in terms of just sitting down and keeping this ball in front, not giving driven straight to the rim, and you know, allowing people to get easy 2s. But you know, they put a lot of stress on the bounce, and so you know, in the last 10 minutes of the game, I thought we were at our best there, and you know, I think that was why we were able to, you know, get the margin where it was, because we were able to force some shots over the top, rebound the majority of them, and then go down and run offense on the other end.
Coach, 3 plays that really stand out for me in the second half were Garrett's deflection. I think it might have been a 3-point lead. ETSU had the ball. I think Garrett gets that deflection. I think you go down and go up by 6, if I'm not mistaken. It was around that area, I believe. And then
When Garrett got the steal on the sideline,
yeah,
we were up 5. I think it was 65-60, and then we went up 7 there.
right.
Yeah.
And then 2 of Garrett's feeds from the top of the key down to Bronson down low. I mean, I think these past few years, Furman fans have been kind of spoiled by big guys that can pass, and those are 2 of the best that you'll see. Just, I mean, as you said, he was rewarded tonight and rewarded y'all with plus 15, but so many different things Garrett did tonight.
Well, you know, look, Tony Bennett's dad, Dick Bennett, used to say, if you want to have great teams, the first thing you have to have is a team you can lose with. And we all hate losing. As competitors, you can't stand it. You know, as when you have a program that has expectations, you don't want it. But if you have a group that can do it well, and when I say well, like, can you learn from it? Can you man up and look at it and say, okay, we got to do these things better, and then we have to adjust some things, and we got to be honest. And the way our group handled yesterday, and some of the decisions that we had to make, you know, I had 4-player individual meetings yesterday, starting about 6 o'clock p.m. And hey, this is what the issue is. This is what we got to do. And Ben Vanderwall says, Coach, look, take me out of the lineup. Okay, don't do that to G. He's a 5th year. I see it. One of us has to come out. Let it be me. Right? And you just don't see that. Like, that's not something you, like, Coach, I get it. And then, you know, I meet with Garrett, and I'm like, Garrett, look, here's what I'm thinking. Like, we got to get more spacing out there. You got to play with more belief, okay? You got to rebound the ball. Like, just because they're gonna paint you, like, you got to go be aggressive. Like, I need your spirit. I need your leadership. Go back 2 nights ago. We're all leaving here. We're miserable. I look at my phone. Coach, I'm scared. I need to talk to you. Can I come to your house? Okay, at 11 o'clock at night, Garrett Ian and PJ Smith walk in my house. Coach, we can't go to sleep tonight without discussing this. We got to get this right. And that's the winning fabric, right, that allows you in a 48-hour window to change your starting lineup, change a few different roles, all right, decide to, you know, but like, Coach, okay, like, whatever we got to do to get this thing right. And that's what I'm most proud of tonight. I was just talking to JD Powell, who had the color on the game, and JD and I coached together at Charleston Southern. He's a close friend. And I don't think people understand how hard it is to turn on a 48-hour flip like that in a game that emotional, that we got beat that bad. And idealistically, you can think like you're just supposed to watch that and flip the page. Like, it's not that easy, you know. Like, there's still gonna be a little dent, you know. Like, you gotta get yourself off the mat as coaches, as players, as leaders, and you gotta go play. And it takes guys, it takes great people, it takes great teammates, it takes people that refuse to blame, all right, and to figure out how do you accept responsibility. Like, we did this, so we gotta fix it. And then whatever we gotta do as a unit, let's just go find a way to win a game. Like, Cooper Bowser didn't play a lot late because Garrett goes to the 5. Chuck Johnson didn't play a lot late because Ben goes to the 4. I don't care. Hey, Cooper, you didn't do it. Coach, don't worry about it. We gotta win. And that's why this group has been special. And you know, we're not gonna be defined by a loss or 2 here and there. We're gonna be defined how we finish. You know, and anytime we deal with adversity, we just gotta utilize it in a way that we can find a little bit of things to get better at. And so now we've had to sort through how people are painting us, right? We've had to sort through, you know, let's get another guard out there getting attacked. Like, overall, when you pull the lens out, this is gonna make us more complete, right? Like, you can't just depend on 2 guys all year to go score all your points and take all the load. Like, if you're trying to win a championship and you're trying to be your best come March, you're gonna have to be able to disperse some of that a little bit. And so, you know, we might look back on this, you know, last 10 days where, you know, we didn't play our best ball, but did we respond in a way where we learned more about ourselves and grew closer and we stretched ourselves, right? We pruned a little bit, and all of a sudden maybe we found another gear that we can continue to improve with.
Last question I had is, Nick Anderson, it seems like the past few games, he's had a harder and harder time finding, you know, space to shoot. But when he did tonight, I thought the 2 threes he hit were 2 of the biggest shots of the night. Can you just talk about, you know, he's kind of stayed the course and doing the right thing in those moments when they've opened up for him, he's made the most of it.
Well, it was incredibly efficient tonight, 14 points on 5 shots. And, you know, I was on the play card a little bit more tonight. Just, you know, we didn't play quite as much in organic flow just because I gotta generate some shots for these guys a little bit more. And, you know, but our guys executed, you know, some of those actions there late. And, you know, I gotta make sure that Nick needs to be a 10-shot minimum guy. PJ needs to be a 10-shot minimum guy. And that's my job. So, you know, probably should have got him a few more looks. We had one on for him, and we got misaligned, and ended up somebody else got in the corner. It ended up being wide open. But you know, we've got to look in situations, especially in makes with this particular team, that we're probably gonna have to call a little more just to make sure we dictate where that shot comes from. And, you know, I thought our guys did a good job with that. But look, Nick's a winner, man. Like, Nick's as tough as they come, and you know, nobody's immune tonight out of a bad night. You know, like, I think the whole Greensboro thing, 1 for 12, I think it shocked him, you know, and it just kind of got into his head a little bit. And, you know, man, Nick has been unbelievable for this program. Just one of the coolest stories, you know, just a guy that, you know, was interested in us in high school, and we were interested in him, but it was during COVID, and we could never go see him personally. But then when we saw his film and we saw how he played, like, he was the first guy that said yes in the spring. You know, he was the first recruit that we got. We were really excited about him because he could not only make shots, but he could move. And we just thought he had moxie. We thought he had winning character to him. And, you know, it's just been, he's got a cool personality. And, you know, I might have told y'all this story, but one of my favorite things about Nick is he's brought a demeanor, he's brought a presence to our team. You know, last year, you know, at times we just looked kind of just quiet and, you know, kind of dysfunctional a little bit. And he's brought this goofy shit, like funny personality, spirit. We were sitting in my office one day and I was like, Nick, you know, you just kind of go with the flow, man. Like you don't get too down. And he looked at me, he goes, Coach, I'm not gonna be here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time. And, you know, I reminded him of that this morning. Like, hey, you're not gonna be here long. Like, let's go have some fun. Like we'll free you up, we'll get you some shots, go play. And, you know, Nick's a huge part of this thing. We're not in the position we're in without him. And, you know, he's a heck of a player. He's an unbelievable shooter. And, you know, that was what got us so open right there on the base, on the press O. They double teamed him. And so now PJ's free. We actually had Ed open on the home run. But I told Dave only to throw it if he was wide open. He was wide open. But PJ came free just because they were doubling Nick. And so we were able to inbound to PJ and dribble out some of that clock right there. But yeah, Nick's been a huge piece. I wish we had him for another year or two. Probably a mistake on my part not signing him out of high school. Probably an eval blunder on my part. We'll blame that one on COVID too, right? We blame that stuff on COVID, so I'll blame that one on COVID as well. All right, we'll see you guys Saturday.